Hello and welcome to our server. Below, you can find all of our rules. Not reading the rules is your own fault. Our rules differ from most servers. General rules. Do be respectful to everyone. Do try your best to help other players in a time of need. Do report rule breakers on the forums. Do speak English since this is an English server. Do have some sort of video recording software if you ever report anyone. Do trade at your own discretion and do your research. Being scammed 1 mil or more duck cash or any amount of IRL money or sugar dollars is subject to review and punishment. Ask for a staff witness if you are unsure of a transaction. Do report bugs/exploits. Using them to your own advantage and not reporting them will have you banned. Do not RDM. Do not minge. Do not prop climb. Do not prop block. Do not be a dick. We are all here to have fun and play the game. Do not attempt to loophole any rules. Do not do violent thefts. Example, player A shoots and kills player B because they are holding a printer. Just try to take it with a grave gun or something. Don't kill them on sight. Events like golden printer are an exception. Do not RP in spawn unless you're running through it in an RP situation. Do not be racist or offensive to other players/staff. Do not be constantly vulgar in UK. You will be warned then kicked/banned. Do not block off NPCs, everyone needs to get to them. Do not raid the same person over and over again. Pick on someone else every once in a while. Do not raid public places. Some people just wanna chill. Don't ruin their fun if they have no goods in their public place. Boomboxes are not counted as goods. Do not attack a base member while raiding. They must be both within earshot and reasonably close to the base. Do not counter actions before getting involved. For example, asking a cop to uncuff your friend or a raider to stop raiding your friend, otherwise you might counter the action. Do not warn people for general actions such as walking down the street, looking at them or being near them. Do not revolt against the PD without an actual RP reason. Be specific with your reasoning. Do not advertise if you're inside of the PD. You must do it outside since you will be committing murder to everyone inside. Do not bind multiple different adverts to one message. You will be asked to change it. X. Raid/mug/heist/bank raid/kidnap. Do not switch jobs during a raid or other RP interaction. Do not incite other players to break the rules. Do not call staff for a single RDM. Go talk to the person who killed you or ask in UK why they killed you. Do not call staff without a specified reason. Do not call staff for general questions. Ask people in UK or the forums. Do not call staff constantly. Spamming admin chat will have you kicked/banned. Do not scam custom class content, including slots and perms. An LR exists and please use your best judgment to determine whether or not it is okay to return to a place after death. Most people don't care if you died to a hit at PD and come back. People will care if you died in a raid and come back. If you want to play it safe, don't return to your place of death until the time is up. No one likes a sore loser. In this section, there are examples of what is considered an LR and what doesn't usually matter to most people. And if you did die in a raid/heist, it's simply over. You cannot come back and continue raiding/defending unless you die to a natural event. If your raid is interrupted by a natural event, such as a train, being teleported by the pickle statue or a sit, any raid cooldown timers are voided. You may restart your raid immediately. During the Kill the VIP, Defend the Vault, and Golden Printer events, there is no NLR if you are trying to attack/defend the event. NLR applies to all other situations during these events. This does not mean you can continually raid the same base if the Golden Printer is inside it. Time limits. Raiding cooldown. There is no cooldown, but you cannot raid the same person again within 20 minutes. Max kidnapping time, 5 minutes. Max raiding raid time, 10 minutes. Max raiding time. Cooldown for raiding the PD, 15 minutes. Max mug amount, $1,000. NLR time limit. Read NLR rules above/ until the raid or heist is over. NLR examples. Going back to the road you died on to a hitman to see your friends. Allowed. Going back to the road you died on to a hitman to kill the hitman. Not allowed. Jim E. Going back to Jim E's house after raiders raided it and killed him. Not allowed. Going back to Jim E's house you were raiding after you died. Not allowed. Going back to defend a heist as a CP after you died. Not allowed. Going back into the PD as a cop after you got killed by a bounty hunter. Allowed. Going back into the PD as a raider after you got killed by a mugger. Allowed. Going back to the outside of your base after you die in a raid to watch the raid. Not allowed. Warns. If you're heckin' dumb enough to get warned, you're gonna get the slap down. 15 warns. 1 week ban. 25 warns. 2 week ban. 35 warns. 1 month ban. 50 warns. Permanent ban. Terminology. RDM, random death match. RDA, random arrest. NITRP, no intention to RP. LTFP, leave to avoid punishment. FDA, failing door abuse. NLS/SJA, non-lethal abuse/stun gun abuse. RDM/RDA, attempted RDM/attempted RDA, or RDM/RRDA, revenge RDM/revenge RDA, prop block, blocking all areas without a way to get in using a lockpick/keypad cracker, prop climb, using props to get on places you cannot normally get to, KOS, kill on sight, AOS, arrest on sight. Examples, RDM, John kills Billy because why not? This does not include death matches that involve job rules. Example, pissed baby killing pedophiles. RDA, John arrests Billy because why not? This doesn't include random arrests that deal with RP. FDA, John is getting raided by Billy, and instead of using his keypad to open the door the raider is picking, he uses his keybind to open it quickly and kill him. Prop block, John is printing money and blocks off his house and printer with 50 bathtubs to make sure no one can get them. Prop climb, John is raiding Billy's house and sees he has an opening at the top of his structure. He builds a stairway using props to get inside the house. And Ella, John sees a hobo begging for money and starts spamming his non-lethal pistol at him. KOS, John sees a hobo and kills him on sight for being wanted. AOS, John sees a hobo and arrests him on sight for being wanted. Examples of illegal activities: raiding, mugging, stealing, kidnapping, disrupting the peace, making drugs, having printers, having a firearm without a license, weapon modifying, processing weapons, being an AOS job, pedophile, abomination, Mr. Sniffy. Default laws. Doing any illegal activity may result in consequences such as being arrested or fined, or even death if you are threatening somebody's life/resisting arrest. Killing other players is illegal. Definition of raiding: having the intent to invade another person's home. Whether you're being harmful or not, trespassing someone else's house should be considered a raid. When starting a raid, be close to the place you're raiding. Sitting away from the house shooting people while they are coming out is not allowed. Advert rules. Adverts that exist: PD raid, bank heist, warn. Adverts that do not exist: steal, FERP-related adverts, hands are tied, weapons are stripped, serial killer, murder, raid, kidnap, counter, mug, hit accepted/declined/completed/failed, assist, crossfire. Basic rules. Failing door limit is 3 doors protecting your items. You may only require raiders go through 3 doors to get to your entities/bank vault. A double failing door counts as 2 doors. A triple failing door counts as 3. One-way props are allowed. You cannot have a sky bass. Rooftops that are not explicitly part of the bass door leading to it do count as sky bases. You cannot have a crouch base that exploits a head or foot glitch or any other body part. Don't loophole, please. Cause signs are not allowed, but you may have loitering signs. Minimum time for a loiterer to be killed is 5 seconds. Trespassing makes you coz. This means if you trespass someone's house while they are building, you will die. If it is a public place bass, you must be warned to leave first. The owner of the most doors in a base is the owner, not the owner of the front door. Your goods must be accessible in some way or form. You cannot just prop block them. You must have your keypads in plain sight, and it must be next to the door. Your base must have a clear path through. This means the full blackout/super dark bases, invisible bases, or maze bases where the path is not obvious. Keypads may not have any delay on them opening. Your keypad has a 30-second delay, but then opens for 5 seconds. To avoid confusion and unnecessary sits, you may not use/hide inside no-collided props to avoid being damaged, arrested, raided, etc. You may not remove a dupe to bring entities inside of your bass, then replace your dupe. This is declared failed. Building/loitering signs must be size 30 or larger, be easily visible, and near the main entrance of the base. You may only base in one spot at a time. Do not failing door abuse. Destroying your entities during a raid on your base to avoid them being stolen is failed. A public place is a place with open doors such as a restaurant. For your base to be considered a public place, you must place a sign indicating it as a public place. You may not have money-making entities inside/it will be treated as a building sign. If the place does have closed and locked doors and the owners refuse to let you in that room, the place is considered raidable. You cannot build/remove props to your advantage while being raided or in a situation that involves a clash between other players. Example, stealing a printer, running to your bass, deleting it and then placing the base back when you're inside. How to be a good player, a section dedicated to the people who have 3 brain cells. The bad section is parallel with the good section. RP situations out. This is an RP server at its core. If you're going to provide negative feedback, make it constructive. Examples of a bad player: calling staff because he doesn't know how to change jobs. Calling staff because he doesn't know if his base is allowed. Calling staff because he doesn't know what his job does. Calling staff because someone called them a hurtful word. Calling staff because someone just killed them. Arguing with a player in OOC not listening to staff / claiming a rule doesn't exist so they can't do it. Reporting players and or staff when they have no evidence / non-conclusive evidence. Examples of a good player. Asking players how to change jobs in chat or in person. Reading the rules to see if his base is allowed / getting other players' opinions. Reading the rules / job description to see what his job does. Voice chat / text chat muting players when they get called a bad word. Examining the situation of why they died and asking the player why they killed him. Calling a staff member with the most detail possible to prevent downtime and confusion. Revolting against the mayor when a harsh rule is made. Ming the cop who arrested them when they got randomly arrested. Ming the player who owns the door to see if they can own it. Taking a heated argument to local or PM chat. Accepting what staff tells them. If they have an issue with it, they make a post on the forums explaining why they think they're in the right. Reporting players / staff with video evidence. No other questions should be asked on a good report. It should 100% conclusive by the original post. Party / gang rules. A section dedicated to people who don't know how RP as a party / gang. Using parties / gangs to combat other people usually results in confusion. Just because you are in a party / gang with somebody doesn't mean you are automatically involved with their situations. Here is how to do it correctly. You must be in a party with someone to assist in a roleplay scenario. Being in a gang together does not count. If you're going to kill someone because they attacked your party member, make sure they know you're together. Local chat or voice, not OOC / advert. Not doing so will cause confusion and most likely result in a sit which no one wants. This applies to raiding as well. Being in a party or gang doesn't mean you will not die / be raided / kicked / harassed by your own party and gang. Don't call staff members for internal issues you're dealing with. Deal with situations using roleplay. If you aren't role-playing together or they have no reason to suspect that you are connected in any way, it makes no RP sense to randomly pull out a gun and shoot them. The bad section is parallel with the good section. Examples of a bad party / gang member. Sniping a player from across the map because his party member got mugged. Attacking a player because someone just killed their party / gang member when you were nowhere nearby / not visible. Calling staff when their party / gang just raided them. Calling staff when their party / gang just kicked them because he paid 500k to be in there. Examples of a good party / gang member. Running up to the player who killed their party / gang member and telling them they are about to die for killing their member. Killing a cop or cuffing your party / gang member you are role-playing with. Fishing, mugging, kidnapping players together, etc. Leaving the party / gang. Civilian rules. Basic description. You sell items. Complete tasks and just be a regular civilian to survive. Cannot raid. Cannot heist. Cannot megabase. Bank manager cannot base with bank heisters. Bank manager may not keep his bank private or only for his friends. You may not counter bank heists if you are not a cop / bank guard / manager or in the bank when the raid begins. Insurance exists to protect your money. Chucky can cost Picola's cage. Pissed baby, master stalker, and treasure hunter. Chucky and Jigsaw are at constant war. They are cost to each other all the time. Medics can assist in raids. Do not place item shelves in the middle of the streets / block main areas with them. While we understand that you want a lot of people to see the stuff you are selling, it's also frustrating to have it shoved down our throats. If a staff / players are asking you to move it, then do so. Selling guns in your gun stand for outrageous prices with the sole intent of either scamming noobs or catching people off guard who happen to misclick your gun stand is not allowed. Cop rules. Basic description. You protect and serve the people of the town. Cannot raid. Cannot heist. Cannot megabase. You cannot assist criminals or commit crimes. Past the second PD door is arrest on site unless said otherwise. All doors in PD are allowed to be locked, including first door. You can build roadblocks / base / build checkpoints / do what you gotta do. Becoming a cop job so that someone else can raid the PD is failed / job abuse. Mayor rules. You cannot assist criminals or commit crimes. Make your laws something that your officers can enforce. You cannot make rules that allow players / CP to kill each other. You cannot make a law to make someone above the law because it breaks role play. Example, John Steven 22 is immune to all laws because he is my friend. You can override any default law except for making killing, printers, or stealing legal. Your laws must follow some sort of RP guidelines. Making them stupid will result in you being demoted and or kicked. No one likes a dumb mayor. Your laws must not be so harsh where it makes other players leave the server. They will vote you as an unfair mayor in which you will be demoted. Laws cannot target an individual group, class, job, or person. Make your laws general, and make them affect the entire town. You can restrict areas of the map, but not force people to be there. You cannot make laws that force players to put a specific prop/item in front of their base, or they are raidable, AOS, etc. Examples of good laws. People without a firearms license will be searched. The sewers are unsafe and not sanitary. For your own safety, they are off limits. Jaywalking will result in a $500 fine. Cross at street corners / the crosswalks we have placed. Sewers are off limits and will result in a fine due to it being dangerous. Examples of bad / punishable laws. Jimmy 21 is immune to all laws. If you're holding keys / grave gun / phase gun / tool gun, you're a OS. All fines are $20K. If you're not crouching, you're a OS. If you don't jump when you see the mayor, you're a OS. Money printers are legal. Pedophiles can kill anyone. RDM is legal. Cops can arrest you for looking at them. If you aren't walking on the street, you're a OS. Jaywalking is a OS. No crosswalks or examples given for legal street crossing. Hackers must stay on the beach, or a OS you must have a watermelon prop in front of your base or you are raidable. Cops can randomly cuff / stun gun / etc. to check for weapons / bounty / etc. Any law where the intent is clearly just to prevent CPS from role-playing properly. I.E. Cops cannot handcuff criminals, or cannot use their stun guns, or all fines are $1 in conjunction with a law stating no arresting, etc. Hobo rules. Basic description. You beg for money, or forcefully take it. Cannot raid, cannot heist, cannot mega base. You cannot build in the streets, but you can build on the sidewalk. You cannot build on the sidewalk if you are not a hobo, except a CP can build on the road / sidewalk for roadblocks or crosswalks. You may build at fountain as non-hobos given the following conditions. Must not block any NPCs, must not take up too much space, cannot be a kidnap cage unless you're a hobo or a cultist. If your base is complained about, it will be removed if the reasoning is legitimate. At the end of the day, it is completely up to staff discretion to remove your props. Your houses can have multi-layers, essentially prop climb within your house. You can own guns. You may only mic spam as a hobo class. Thief rules. Basic description. You steal from people and break into their bases. Can raid. Can heist. Cannot mega base. Bank heisters cannot base with a bank manager. Killing the cop / mugger who has just fined / mugged you after you paid a fine is failed. Killing someone to save them from being fined / arrested is failed. You may not call a raid or PD heist while inside the building. You cannot call a PD raid for the sole purpose of killing people in the lobby / preventing people from access to the lobby. If you PD raid, you are there to either kill the mayor or raid the vault. Gang rules. Basic description. Join together to build a massive place and fulfill your duties. Can raid. Can heist. Can mega base. You must have at least 3 members who are part of the gang. Job really set to mega base unless you're the king. You cannot take over a large portion of the map and a portion of the map cannot be a hotspot. Example, in front of PD, your group must own at least the front door of every house to mega base in that area. You cannot block off any unique NPC. Any NPC where there is only one NPC on the map like Harvest Buyer or the cereal statue. The king may only create a mega base inside the kingdom and not on a regular map. The king can override the following rules within the kingdom. Prop climb, RDM, prop surfing, sky basing. The king cannot override any of the following rules. NLR, basing rules, failed, prop block, anything not listed as allowed. Bloods and Crips are cost to each other. Any crossfire may still be treated as RDM. Mercenary rules. Basic description. Get hired to protect or do some other task. Cannot raid. Cannot heist. Cannot mega base. Hitmen do not need to advert accepting / competing for failing a hit. Hitman / bounty hunter / master stalker / etc. are allowed to raid their target only to carry out job functions. They may not interact with entities inside the base. Weird jobs rules. Basic description. You're super weird. You take pictures or meow at people. Cannot raid. Cannot heist. Cannot mega base. Pedophiles are default AOS. Stalkers and master stalkers are subject to AOS. If they're caught stalking people, master stalker can break an LR on their assigned target only. Pets and master pets cannot own guns, but they can own melee weapons. Being revived by a necromancer does not mean you can continue a heist / raid. You lost. No second chances. If you are playing as a necromancer and revive a hostile NPC, you are COS. Stupid job rules. Basic description. These jobs were added in to make you lose brain cells and to feel stupid. Cannot raid. Cannot heist. Cannot mega base. The abomination must be contained and therefore OS pissed babies can kill pedophiles on sight. The preacher can skybase. If Piccolo's cage summons a train on a player outside of a base, it is considered a natural event and therefore is not mass RDM when 80 players crowd around your train for the memes. If a train is summoned inside of a base, that is considered as a raid. Since Piccolo's cage is a job defined to not be permitted to raid, this means you are not allowed to continue to perform other raiding actions such as chucking C4 into their base or lockpicking. You cannot raid the base again before the normal time limit, and you cannot switch jobs in order to raid them after summoning the train. Kidnapper rules. Basic description. You kidnap people and make them your slave. Cannot raid. Cannot heist. Cannot mega base. Alien race can raid and heist if all three are together. Do not use your disguise swap to avoid RP/arrest. Kidnapping/attempt kidnapping people makes you cause as you're a threat to everyone around you. Kidnap bases may have 5 total fading doors, 2 leading to the main room, and 3 cells. Kidnap bases are bases that only store kidnapped victims. If you have any other raidable entities, then you must follow standard basing rules. No category rules. Basic description. Your job says your job rules in the description. Terrorist. You can kill people in a terrorist attack that have already been killed. Terrorist. Anyone can kill you once you have adverted/started the terrorist attack. You are a mass wording machine. If someone shoots at you, you can shoot back at them. Miscellaneous rules. Rules that generally don't have to be said but are here for the people who need to see them. Do not force other players to get stuck. If they can't move, it's not RP. Killing people at NPCs has no purpose. You don't gain anything and therefore is RDM and a bannable offense. If you're shot at, you're allowed to fire back even if they miss. Do not demote people from jobs for breaking server rules. It is intended for RP demotes only, unless there are no staff online. Example, demoting a cop for not arresting someone without a firearm license. Intentionally lowering people's frame rates with a ton of moving materials/flashing materials will have you warned and then punished. Teleporting behind someone makes you cost for the person you teleported to. Misleading adverts are not allowed. Making 3 lines of random trading advert then adding a subtle PD raid at the end is stupid. If a staff asks you to remove it, then please do so. Spawning props in public and making them no gravity before letting them fly is not allowed. It ruins some people's FPS and is dumb in general. You may request a staff member as a middleman for large 1 meter plus transactions. This service is dependent on staff availability. Loot boxes are considered entities, and you cannot open them in a base while building or prop blocked. Macros/external programs/scripts are not allowed. The following 2 actions are allowed without adverting PD raid, so long as you do not engage anyone without them engaging you first, or warning them properly. Jailbreaking and hackers hacking any of the PD panels, including the one in the mayor's office. Anything involving breaking through a prop or a fading door is not allowed under this rule, and will be considering PD raiding without an advert. If you wish to PD raid, you will still be required to call PD raid after exiting the PD entirely. If you kill a CP legally under this rule, leave the PD, and then call PD raid. The officer you killed before you called PD raid will not be considered to be breaking NLR if they return to the PD to stop your PD raid, as they died before you called a PD raid. If a player has been gone for 30 consecutive days from the server without prior notification, you can revoke their custom class permanent slot without being subject to the scamming rule. It is highly recommended that you record their game tracker. Recommended method is via screenshot at the time of revocation to prevent future issues. Do not modify a custom class in a way that gives you a roleplay advantage. Example, standard custom class named Civil Projection and using a model that looks like CP to gain entry into the mayor's office. Report someone within 2 weeks, or we will not take action, even if they must RDMED 99,999,999,999 players. Reports will still be accepted for extremely serious offenses, such as things which break the law, on a case-by-case basis. But if we determine you held this information from the staff team for the purposes of blackmail, threats, or other similar reasons, you will receive a punishment equal to whatever we decide to do with the player you reported.